Yes, I have changed the name of my podcast. So welcome to the Success Codes podcast. I have had quite a journey this year. This past week on my walk under the full moon, so it must have been the morning of like August 1st, August 2nd, whatever that exact date was, I feel like I skipped 2 timelines. It's been so crazy. So this podcast in particular on Ascension and change is going to be about getting out of your comfort zone and understanding that change is good. And I want to talk about an aspect of change that I never hear talked about out there in the land. So we all know that a lot of people are afraid of change because they have fear around the change, fear of the unknown. Any type of anxiety is something you can control because you're just thinking about the future versus living in the present. So we do know those things. I do believe my audience knows those things. So I want to talk about fear around making changes within your business and why some people stay stuck. So again, welcome. I really decided to follow the advice not only from my higher self, but I had scheduled a one-on-one personal coaching call with Christina Rice, and she is who I consider my mentor. I found her through like listening to some other app last May of 2022, and I've shared in my podcast a lot of my journey through being part of her community. If you know, you also know that I am a certified and attuned high practitioner, which is part of her community, part of what she teaches. So it was super exciting to have a one-on-one personal coaching call with her on July 27th. And why I'm sharing this is because a lot of the things that we talked about, I came prepared. I'm very self-led. I came prepared with my questions for her, and she's an intuitive psychic like me. She's just ahead of me. And so a lot of things were bothering me, and I just needed some clarity and someone to speak with who I feel is like me, just ahead of me. So we're very similar with our energy and masculine energy, and her journey is I feel like I kind of follow in her footsteps, let's say. That's the best way I can put it. And that's what a mentor is, right? That is what a mentor is. Finding someone who's just ahead of you and can help you on your journey so you can ascend faster. I'm just doing what you all should be doing out there. So she says to me as she's looking at my website on the Zoom, she goes, "How do you feel about changing your podcast?" And I was like, started to laugh. I started to laugh because I have changed my podcast so many times since April of 2019. One was originally the Good Karma Life Coach, then it became the Good Karma Success Coach. So I keep going back to the word success. So it's kind of funny how I've come 360 or 180 degrees, whatever circle is. And then I had a second podcast that I had created that was more business-like and not spiritual. And that was based on advice of a marketing coach who was very 3D back in 2019. And that was like crushing sales and then confident conversations and something else I don't even freaking remember. And then it went back to crushing sales. So both those got retired. Then You Have the Power To got created. And now You Have the Power To is now the Success Codes podcast. So anyhow, what I want to say about this that's super, super important is the narrative out there that a lot of people don't talk about is having fear of being judged for making changes in your business. And that is just fucking wrong. You need to always be looking at what you can change. What you can change. Is your niche too small for you now? You know, the advice out there is to niche. Quite frankly, if there's a coach out there that's been in the same niche for 30 years, I don't want to work with them. I don't want to work with them because they're not changing. They're not changing. And this is what I have really, really learned is a lot of the, let's say, big name coaches out there that started in that 2009, 2010 timeframe when it was the recession, and a lot of people that are about 10 years younger than me, and I've talked about this before, went online and built online businesses, whereas Ryan and I moved to the Keys and built tangible businesses. We didn't go online. We actually did more in-person things, let's say, with being in sales and with Good Karma Sport Fishing. Those people have niched. And quite frankly, I've moved on from them. They're boring to me. They are boring. And the coaches that I really find that I have the most connection with are the ones that have evolved their brand, the ones that have started out as, let's say, a food blogger, and then they became a sales coach, or they were a fitness coach, and then they became a manifestation coach. Whatever. They have moved, they have changed their branding. They look at their branding quite consistently every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. Like if you are someone and it's been 2 years and you have not evolved and changed your brand, I tell you, please do it, because you're going to lose people. People's attention spans are short. People want to move on. They want to be walking. They want to be running. They want to be growing. You do not want these people that are just stuck. And it's so hard nowadays in such a crowded lane of coaching to get some attention. Like you want to pay attention to the people that you already have in your audience and continue to grow and have them walk with you. And I truly believe this, I know this, and I have experienced this as someone who has been in communities and have left communities for that reason. I don't see that coach really changing, and they may say they're changing. They may make some big announcement about their marketing, and I'm like, did you really change? Did you really change? I don't really see any difference there. So I really walk the walk, and I run really fast, and I'm so proud of myself. I've let go of any fear of judgment. I don't fucking care. If someone goes, oh, she changed again, it must mean it's not working. That's not true. That means I just got a little bit stronger. That means I got a little bit better. That means my up level of my client base is happening too. And I believe in my client base. I want them to be successful. I want them to be growing. So I want to keep doing better and growing so then I can teach that to them and help them on their journey. I don't want people to stay stuck. I want people to keep growing and keep evolving. And it came up a couple weeks ago because one of my clients that I've had since the beginning of the year, I work with her personally one-on-one, and then I also work with her team. So it's kind of a twofold gig, let's say, and it's been going on for months, and it's been a great experience. Well, we've done so much work together. She's on her journey to move on. She's leaving her job, and I'm so happy for her. Like, it's been such an evolution for her to have the courage and bravery to be like, I'm leaving this job. And that's what I want to help. I want to help those people that are brave, are successful, and are in a job and they feel stuck. And they're like, oh my gosh, there's got to be something more for me out there. So she has resigned her job. And she asked me, she said, will you, during one of the workshops for her team, talk about change? Because her team members, it's kind of scary when their leader that's been with them for so many years and been with the company for so many years resigns. Like, what does that mean for the team? And so we had a workshop based around change and manifesting and creating goals and creating vision. And I ended up sharing with them, like ad hoc, how many times I moved from the age of 22 to the age of like 37. I think it was 37 when we landed in the Keys, 37 or 38, right around that time frame. And their faces, like their jaws just dropped. They were like, what? Because I moved so many times. I changed jobs, I moved, and I didn't think anything of it. And once in a while, my dad, who was with the same company forever, he would, make a comment, but not really anything horrible. Maybe just make like a little comment. And I was like, yeah, that's how you make more money. That's how you get new experiences. That's how I build my resume. I move. I got recruited by this company. I'm moving. Like this one I got let go from. I'm moving. And it was just so natural for me to move and move and move. And then when I became a coach and I started again following people that had the same niches forever and they weren't changing and they keep preaching about niche, I was like, got in my head. I literally got in my head way too much and started to think, oh my gosh, are people judging me if I change? Are people judging me if I change my bio? Are people judging me if I change my description on LinkedIn? Are people judging me because I changed my podcast or I changed some of my pictures or I have 2 websites? I went through all this mind shit and mind loops and crap. And honestly, not one single person has ever made a comment to me. Ever. No one. Ever. No one. I would bet to say that most people don't even fucking know. It's really incredible because people really are just caught up in their own worlds. Like, who am I to think that everyone's watching me? Really, think about it. You got to really get grounded into that. And if they are making a judgment behind the scenes, what do I care? It's my business. It's my life. These are my clients and who I'm helping. And I want to do a better and better job every day of serving them. So get out of your head. Whatever your story is about change, you must move through it and you must be doing the work. So you have these ascensions, and you're listening to your intuition and you're listening to your guidance. So you're continuing to become the next better version of yourself and throw away any marketing that someone's doing for you or out there in terms of like, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. Listen to your higher self and hire a mentor that can really, really help you see that. I'm so grateful to Christina. I'm so grateful that I listened to my guidance. I'm so grateful that I was self-led and very prepared for my session with her. So all that started with me. Of like clicking the button when she announced that she was going to have a couple one-on-one sessions available, because she doesn't do that very often. And I've never seen her do that, quite frankly. So I was like on it, clicked the button, I signed my ass up. I prepared, and we covered so much ground in the 1 hour of her time. It was incredible. And this podcast change is a result of that. So I hope you love it. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful to be here. And this is, again, fresh energy. And if you are following people that have not changed up their energy, that have not worked on their ascension, that are not developing their own voice to speak their truth louder and louder and louder, I highly recommend you to take a look at that, because that then is also keeping you stuck. So it is very likely, very, very likely, I shouldn't even doubt myself in that. You're probably stuck because of the people you're following. Let's be real. So take a look at who you're surrounding yourself with and what is it doing to you? Where are you in your business? Where do you want to go? Who are you surrounding yourself with? And definitely take a look at that. So I'm going to give a teeny tiny sneak preview to Tuesday's episode. Yes, I'm releasing an episode right away on Tuesday, August 8th on Lionsgate. It's an amazing interview with the beautiful, so brilliant. She's also a channel. She's also a spiritual teacher. Her name is Sarah Sparks, and she is releasing a book called 144 Wealth Codes that is amazing. It's a channeled book. And we're talking about it on the podcast, and it's such a great conversation. We had so much fun. And my spirit guides were connecting with her spirit guides. It's crazy, all the synchronicities and things that happened. It was bananas how the podcast was. So it was just really, really cool. So I'm giving a little sneak peek to that. And I'm also going to put the information about joining her Facebook group to be in her book launch, because if you know anything about launching a book, you really need to have people in your book launch team to buy the book on Amazon on that day to help the sales. And I strongly believe in helping people with that. I've launched 3 books on my own. 3. One was a co-authored book series. So 2 on my own, 1 is a co-authored book series. So I believe in helping others in the community and the writing community with their book launches. I always show up to help people. So definitely check that out if that calls to you, and listen to the podcast on Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in. You know how to connect with me. Bye for now.